Here are the 9 contestants preparing for the show. Only one of these pantomime celebrities can win up to £50,000 for charity. The rest will leave with nothing when they're voted off as the weakest link.
Welcome to a very festive edition of The Weakest Link. The 9 contestants in the studio here tonight are all pantomime stars who are each going to try to win up to £50,000. If they want that prize money, they'll have to work as a team, but 8 of them will leave with nothing, as round by round we lose the player voted the weakest link. Let's meet the team.
Hello, I'm Christopher Biggins, and I'm playing Buttons in Cinderella at the Arts Theatre in Cambridge.
Hello, I'm Melandra Burrows, and I'm playing Princess Apricot Crumble in Jack and the Beanstalk at the wonderful Alhambra Theatre in Bradford.
Hello, I'm Ross Kane, and I play Captain Fitzwarren in Dick Whittington at the Wimbledon Theatre, London.
Hello, I'm Carol Harrison, and I'm playing a fairy in Jack and the Beanstalk at the Hexagon Theatre in Reading.
Hi, I'm Bobby Davro. I'll be doing Aladdin in the Birmingham Pantomime at the Hippodrome Theatre.
Hi, I'm Caroline Buckley, and I'm playing the cat in Dick Whittington in Basildon at the Towngate Theatre.
Hi, I'm Wayne Steep. I don't normally dress like this, but I'm Dame in Barnstable this year.
Hi, I'm Juliet Jane Horn, and I'll be playing Princess Jasmine in Aladdin at His Majesty's Theatre in Aberdeen.
I'm Malcolm Dixon. I'm playing in Theatre Royal Brighton in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and I'm playing the character as Pops.
Now, the rules in each round, the aim is to answer enough questions correctly to reach your £5,000 target within the time limit. The fastest way is to create a chain of 9 correct answers. Get your question wrong and you break the chain and lose all the money in that chain. But if you say the word bank before the question is asked, the money is safe. However, you start a new chain from scratch. Remember, team, at the end of the round, only money that's been banked can be taken forward. In round 1, there are 3 minutes on the clock. We'll start with the person whose name is first alphabetically. That's you, Biggins. Let's play The Weakest Link. The first question is for £100. Start the clock. Biggins, in theatre in the UK, pantomimes are traditionally performed to coincide with which festive holiday?
Christmas.
Correct. Melandra, in the Christian religion, the traditional form of the Lord's Prayer includes the line, "Give us this day our daily what?"
Bread.
Correct. Russ, in the UK, what word is the collective term for office equipment such as pens, paper and envelopes?
Stationery.
Correct. Carol, in a theatre, the term front of house refers to areas used by whom, the audience or the cast?
The audience.
Correct. Bobby,
Bank.
in food, which 4-letter word is the general name for a savoury liquid usually made with stock and often served as a starter?
Soup.
Correct. Caroline, in retail, what G is the name given to a written assurance that a product or service will meet certain standards and specifications?
Guarantee.
Correct. Wayne, in children's literature, which well-known fairy tale features the line, "Who's been sleeping in my bed?"
Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Correct. Juliet Jane, in sport, a game of squash is played with which piece of equipment, a racket or an orange?
Racket.
Correct. Malcolm, members of the political movement who were known as suffragettes were which sex?
Pass.
No female. Biggins, in the animal kingdom, what bee describes a whale or other creature that has been driven onto the shore and cannot get back into the sea?
Pass.
Beached. Melandra, in sport, the Royal and Ancient Golf Club is located in which country of the UK?
Scotland.
Correct. Russ, in childcare, what bee is the usual name for an all-in-one stretch garment with feet usually fastened with press studs designed for young infants?
Baby grow.
Correct. Carol, in maths, what is 1/5 of 50?
5.
10.
10.
Bobby, according to the festive song on the first day of Christmas, my true love sent to me a partridge in a what?
Pear tree.
Correct. Caroline, what is the meaning of the word plethora? Excess or shortage?
Excess.
Correct. Wayne.
Bank.
At a wedding, what is the usual two-word term for the friend or relative of the groom who acts as his main support and assistant?
Best man.
Correct. Juliet Jane. In cinema, what P is the name given to the first official public screening of a film?
Premiere.
Correct. Malcolm. In pop music, what is the nationality of the members of the band The Cause?
Swedish.
Irish. Biggins. In the animal kingdom, the hamster belongs to which group of mammals? Carnivores or rodents?
Rodents.
Correct. Melandra. In food, which yellow tropical fruit, often sold in tins, is traditionally used to form the caramelised top of an upside-down cake?
Pineapple.
Correct. Russ. In July 2002, which prominent politician was refused readmission to the Labour Party after being expelled in 2000?
Ken Livingstone.
Correct. Carol. In pantomime, what D is the name given to a female role played by a man dressed in drag?
Dame.
Time's up. Dame was the correct answer, and in that first round, you were complete rubbish. I don't know why you find that amusing. Out of a possible £5,000, you won just 1,250. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the thickest of you all? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
The first strongest link statistically is Russ. As the only player to get all his answers wrong, Malcolm is the weakest link. But who will the players vote off at this early stage in the game?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Malcolm.
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 Minnie Malcolm.
Malcolm.
Mark.
Malcolm.
Biggins.
Biggins.
Yes, I am.
Too old to be a dame now?
What it is, Anne, is that there's ugly sisters in Cinderella, and I'm far too beautiful to play an ugly sister, as you know, so I have to play Buttons. It's as simple as that. So funny, isn't it?
Why Malcolm?
I love Malcolm. I've worked with him before. He's very, very nice, but it's the hat.
Melandra,
Yes, Anne.
you've been in showbiz long.
As long as I can remember.
Were you a child star?
Not a star, but I did appear on New Faces, but...
Because that was a long, 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 long time ago, wasn't
That's
it?
right, Anne.
Have you had any television roles?
Yes, working with lots of sheep in a show called Emmerdale.
And tell me, Melandra, did you always dream of turning up in Bradford to be a star?
To be honest, I've always hankered to be on that stage. And I love a good curry as well.
Why Malcolm?
Malcolm was the weakest link with 2 questions
Bit
wrong.
of a silly name, Melandra, isn't it?
Well, I'm kind of...
Say yes, Melandra. So, Wayne, you're in Barnstable this year.
Yes.
Not quite Covent Garden.
No, it's a bit far away. But I've hung up my tights. Now I wear a frock.
Ever danced with anyone famous?
Well, one of them was royal. And,
Prince Andrew?
Yes, actually.
Did you do a few turns for us here?
Yes, I could do. If you
Right,
want.
down you come.
Oh, my God.
Why have you got a bucket on your head? Why Malcolm?
Well, Malcolm was the weakest link, I'm afraid.
You're just picking on someone who's even smaller than you are.
Oh, I don't know. I think with my ears off, we're about the same height.
Carol, a bit old to be a fairy.
You're never too old to be a fairy, Anne.
Obviously. What do we know you from?
Well, there's EastEnders, there's Get Back, there's...
EastEnders?
Brushstrokes.
Who were you in EastEnders?
I was a very wicked mother.
And what did you do that was so wicked?
I had an affair with my son-in-law.
Do you make a habit of that sort of thing?
If I get the chance.
Why Malcolm?
Because he got everything wrong.
Malcolm,
Yes.
starred in any movies?
Yes. Harry Potter was my last one.
And what are you playing in pantomime this year?
I'm playing Pops, the lead dwarf.
Do you ever feel you're being typecast?
Yes, I think so.
OK, well, you can go away and worry about it. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Hi-ho, 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 it's off to work we go. I believe in fairness, and I believe that I was the worst player and I was the weakest link. So I have no embarrassment whatsoever of being marched off first. I would like to see Caroline go next, because I'm allergic to cats.
Round 2, team, and so far you have achieved a derisory £1,250. There are 8 of you left. We are now taking 10 seconds off your time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. Wonders never cease. It's Russ. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Russ, in pop music, the band that recorded an unofficial 2002 World Cup song entitled Who Invented Fish and Chips is Fat Who?
Les.
Correct, Carol. In house decoration, what W is a type of wallpaper in which laminated wood fragments provide a characteristic lumpy surface?
Wood chip.
Correct, Bobby. At the opening ceremony of the 2002 Commonwealth Games, which Manchester United footballer helped hand the baton to the Queen?
David Beckham.
Correct, Caroline. In the abbreviated name of the British Gallantry Medal, the GC, the letter C stands for what?
Cross.
Correct, Wayne. In geography, a dale is what kind of feature, a hill or a valley?
A valley.
Correct, Juliet Jane. In the animal kingdom, what name is given to the tusked wild ancestor of the domestic pig?
Elephant.
A boar. Biggins. In entertainment, which carry-on actress went on to play the landlady of the Queen Vic in EastEnders?
Barbara Windsor.
Correct, Melandra. In photography, what L is a detachable piece of equipment that may be a fisheye or a telephoto?
A lens.
Correct, Russ. In the British police force, an officer with 3 stripes on his or her uniform holds which rank?
Sergeant.
Correct, Carol.
Thank.
The character Widow Twankey appears in which traditional pantomime?
Aladdin.
Correct, Bobby. Which word can mean both discarded rubbish and a number of animals born at a single birth?
Can I repeat the question, please?
Which word can mean both discarded rubbish and a number of animals born at a single birth?
Crap.
Litter. Caroline, what's the name of the animated penguin character who gives his name to a children's TV show made in Norway?
Pingu.
Correct, Wayne. In which sport did Freddie Truman represent England?
Cricket.
Correct. Juliet Jane. In architecture, stucco is the name of what? A type of plaster or an Italian designer?
Plaster.
Correct. Biggins. In maths, what is 88 divided by 4?
22.
Correct. Melandra. In pantomime, when the villain appears on stage, the audience is traditionally encouraged to boo and what?
Hiss.
Correct. Russ. In pop music, the singer who had a UK hit single in 2001 with Loving Each Day was Ronan who?
Keating.
Correct, Carol. In botany, what C is the name of the pigment in a plant that is involved in photosynthesis?
Pass.
No chlorophyll. Bobby, in children's pastimes, tic-tac-toe is the American name for which game?
Hopscotch.
No, noughts and crosses. Caroline, of the human face, the tiny lines around the eyes are often known as crow's what?
Feet.
Correct. Wayne, in pastimes, the method of keeping fit by doing several different exercises in quick succession is called circuit what?
Training.
Correct. Juliet Jane, in geography, which area of the United States is known as Dixie, the north or the south? The south. But you were out of time. And you managed to win £2,600. Who's as bright as the back end of a cow? Who should leave the stage? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
The statistics reveal that Wayne is the strongest link, with the most incorrect answers. Bobby is the weakest link. But will the team notice that?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Bobby.
Carol.
Robert.
Juliet Jane.
Carol.
Juliet Jane.
Carol.
Bobby.
Oh, we have a tie team. Carol and Bobby have 3 votes each. Russ, what do you do when you're not in pantomime?
I do the Flying Eye on Capital Radio in London.
Who do you work with on Capital Radio?
Chris Tarrant.
What does he do?
As little as possible, Anne. He does a quiz show called Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Is it on television?
I believe... From time to time, I believe so, yes.
Why, Bobby?
Because he got 2 wrong, Anne.
Juliet Jane, what do you do when you're not in pantomime?
I was Miss Scotland, Miss United Kingdom, and Miss Europe.
Do you have to be thick to be a beauty queen?
No, Anne.
Why Bobby?
I chose Bobby because he got 2 wrong.
Did you?
Yeah. and
You can
because
count, can you?
Yeah, I can.
Good,
Yeah.
good. Bobby,
Hello.
what are you busy with these days?
Pantomime.
Are you? Can you still do impressions?
I can.
OK.
As I say to you standing at this rostrum, you know, somebody said to me, Tony, how do you get a small business? I said, buy a large one and wait.
No television work at the moment?
Sadly not, no. I've just got a part, actually, in the new Lassie film. I'm playing the lead.
Why Carol?
Because I was going to put Caroline, but I ran out of room.
Well, when the vote's tied, the strongest link has to cast the deciding vote, and the strongest link in the last round was Wayne. You now have a choice between Carol and Bobby.
Gorgeous as she is, Carol, I stick with what I wrote.
Well, she is a bit old to be a fairy. Carol, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I think who should get the biggest boo today is Wayne. Because he voted me off and they stuck together, those boys. So he deserves to. Big boo hiss. Boo! Hiss!
Round 3, team, and you have £3,850. If you'd stayed awake, you'd have 10,000 by now. There are 7 of you left. Another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Wayne. Let's play the weakest link. Start clock. Wayne, which endangered animal appears above the letters WWF on the logo for the Worldwide Fund for Nature?
Elephant?
No, giant panda. Juliet Jane, in an Italian restaurant, if you ordered a bottle of acqua minerale, you would be asking for what?
Mineral water.
Correct. Biggins, in the theatre, what B is the term for the area behind the main performance platform that is out of view of the audience?
Backstage?
Correct. Melandra. In pop music, which duo released an album in 1966 called Sounds of Silence?
Simon and Garfunkel.
Correct. Russ. In fashion, what 4-letter word follows the words ball, dressing and night to make 3 common items of clothing?
Gown.
Correct. Bobby.
Bang.
In river transport, if you travel against the current, in which direction are you travelling, upstream or downstream?
Upstream.
Correct. Caroline. In film, which lead actor in Trainspotting also played a trumpet player in the 1996 film Brassed Off?
Ewan McGregor?
Correct. Wayne. In theatre, the title of which pantomime is another way of saying the slumbering stunner?
Sleeping Beauty?
Correct.
Bank.
Juliet Jane. Which surname links a novelist named Iris and a media tycoon called Rupert?
Everett.
Murdoch. Biggins. In fashion, what C is the name for a soft, light wool made from the hair of an Asian goat?
Cashmere?
Correct. Melandra. The UK government office abbreviated to CSA stands for Child Support what?
Support agency.
Correct. Russ. In the 1995 film Goldeneye, what was the name of the character played by Pierce Brosnan?
James Bond.
Correct. Bobby. In the UK, which of these cities is further north, Kingston upon Hull or Newcastle upon Tyne?
Kingston upon Hull.
Newcastle upon Tyne. Caroline. In UK sanitation, the phrase water closet is usually abbreviated to which 2 initials?
WC.
Correct. Wayne. In pop music, according to the lyrics of the ABBA song At Waterloo, Napoleon did what?
Waterloo, Napoleon won the war.
Surrender.
Oh!
Juliet Jane. Which term describes a person who's able to perform tasks equally well with either hand?
Pass.
Ambidextrous. Biggins. In the pantomime, the fairy godmother warns Cinderella not to stay at the ball beyond what time?
Midnight?
Correct, Melandra. In London, the company called Foyles, which was founded in 1903 by brothers William and Gilbert Foyle, is famous for selling what? Toys or books?
Books.
Correct. Russ, in 2002, which Israeli-born psychic took over as co-chairman of Exeter City Football Club?
Uri Geller.
Correct, Bobby.
Bank.
What term meaning to change a liquid to a solid by lowering the temperature is also a command by police officers?
Freezing. Freeze.
I'll accept. Caroline, in UK travel... Time's up and you're getting worse as you go along. In that round, you banked just £1,850. Is Aladdin wishing he was somewhere else? Is Biggins just a big, useless pumpkin? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
Statistically, Russ is the strongest link. Wayne has gone from being the strongest link in the last round to the weakest link in this. Can he survive the vote?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Juliet Jane.
Wayne.
Juliet Jane.
Juliet.
Juliet Jane.
Juliet Jane.
Bobby.
Caroline, what are you famous for?
I entered the Pop Idols competition because I just thought it would be a bit fun.
So what did you do?
YMCA.
So let's hear YMCA.
Okay. Young man, there's no need to feel down. I said, young man, pick yourself off the ground. I said, young man, when you're in a new town, there's no need to be unhappy. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. You can get yourself clean, you can have a good meal, you can do whatever you feel.
Why Juliet Jane?
Because I just remember her getting 2 questions wrong.
Bobby, can you do another impression for us?
Hey, honest to God, hey, I'm going to tell you something. Hey, it's not like this on Blankety Blank. Honest to God, hey.
Why Juliet?
Seeing as she's very beautiful, but she voted me off in the last round, I thought it was only fair, and she did actually answer incorrectly on 2 occasions.
And did you think she was the weakest link?
The most beautiful one, but definitely the weakest link.
I don't think you've got a chance.
No. I don't think I have either. I've got more chance of being handcuffed to a ghost.
Well, statistically, she wasn't the worst player, was she, Wayne?
No.
Why Juliet Jane?
And well, she got some wrong, and I couldn't vote for myself, so I had to vote for the next one.
Juliet Jane, if she can find her way out, she can now go. You are the weakest link, dear. Goodbye.
Anne did intimidate me a lot with pulling my leg and things. I just think that someone of her age doesn't realise that there can be such a thing as brains and beauty.
Round 14. You've banked £5,700. There are 6 of you left. Another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Ross. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Ross, in media, what B is the title of the trade magazine of the entertainment and showbiz industry first published in 1905?
Variety.
Correct, Bobby. How many vowels are there in the word vowel?
2.
Correct, Caroline. In film, who won an Academy Award for Best Actress for her role in the 1964 musical Mary Poppins?
Pass.
No, Julie Andrews. Wayne, in nature, what B is the term for a hole or a tunnel dug by a small animal as a home?
What, sorry? Which, what? Sorry, could you repeat the question?
In nature, what B is the term for a hole?
Burrow.
Correct. Biggins. In maths, what is 1/3 of 369?
120.
No, 123. Melandra. The legal document detailing the disposition of a person's property and wealth in the event of death is known by what name?
Will.
Correct. Russ. In the home, which of these appliances uses more electricity and costs more to run, a light bulb or a hairdryer?
Hairdryer.
Correct, Bobby. In the fairy tale Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which character asked, mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?
It was the evil one, which was the evil queen.
Correct, Caroline. Having posed on a Manchester United team photo and interrupted a cricket test, prankster Carl Power played tennis at which famous venue in 2002?
Bank. Pass. Sorry.
Wimbledon.
Worth
Wayne, in customs, what C is the term for an older person who accompanies a young single woman to a social occasion for the sake of propriety?
Companion.
Chaperone. Biggins, in food, which grain is a major ingredient of the dish kedgeree?
Rice.
Correct, Melandra. In children's literature, Anne, Dick, Julian, George and Timmy are all characters from which series of books?
Famous Five.
Correct, Russ. In share dealing, the so-called dragon markets and tiger markets are in which continent?
The Far East.
No, Asia is the correct answer. Bobby. In the 1970s TV sitcom The Good Life, which actress played the character Margot Ledbetter?
Penelope Keith.
Correct, Caroline. In nature... Bank, did you say? In nature, what are usually exhibited in an arboretum? Time's up. I can't complete the question, which is probably just as well. You only won £600. How sad is that? Who doesn't deserve to go to the ball? Who's thicker than a beanstalk? Who's asking for a custard pie? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
With the most correct answers, Bobby is the strongest link. As the only player to give all wrong answers, Caroline is the weakest link. But will the votes reflect the statistics?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Caroline.
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 The cat.
Wayne.
Caroline.
Unanimously Caroline. I wonder why. Bobby.
Yes, hello.
Why Caroline?
First up, she couldn't find a friend, so she had to go.
Are you feeling okay?
No. It's the drugs, they're wearing off. I tried Viagra cream the other day, and I couldn't bend my fingers for 5 days.
Biggins.
Anne.
Why Caroline?
Well, sadly, I did think she was, that particular time, the weakest link.
I think, Caroline, you've delighted us for long enough. Goodbye!
Well, Anne made me sing YMCA again. It was all good fun. I just hope it was more in tune than the initial version.
Round 5, team. And you have in the kitty £6,300. There are 5 of you left, another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. Astonishingly, that's Bobby. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Bobby, in the UK, what U is the adjective for a person who may be euphemistically said to be between jobs or an actor who is resting?
Unemployed.
Correct, Wayne. In horse racing, the last section of a course that forms the approach to the finishing post is called the home what?
Straight.
Correct. Biggins. In history, which English city was originally a Roman fort called Mancunium?
Manchester.
Correct. Melandra. In sound reproduction, a C90 audio cassette has how many minutes of recording time on each side?
Could you repeat the question, please?
In sound reproduction, a C90 audio cassette has how many minutes of recording time on each side?
90.
45.
Oh.
Russ. In the Second World War, a Sherman was which sort of military transport, a tank or a fighter plane?
Tank.
Correct, Bobby. In the 1950 novel by C.S. Lewis, the magical land of Narnia is accessed through which item of furniture?
A wardrobe.
Correct, Wayne. In law enforcement, what is the usual 2-word term for a group of prisoners bound together to prevent escape while working outside?
Chain gang.
Correct, Biggins. In the pantomime Cinderella, what's the name of the page to Baron Hardup?
The page to Baron Hardup. Dandini.
Buttons. Melandra. In which 1978 film does
Sorry,
the
Anne,
title...
I missed the beginning. Sorry.
In which 1978 film does the title character work for the Daily Planet under the name Clark Kent?
Superman.
Correct, Russ. In food, what M is the name of a light, sweet or savoury dish derived from the French word for froth or foam?
Mousse.
Correct, Bobby. In the human body, the thickening waistline of an older person is often known as middle age. What?
Spread.
Correct, Wayne.
Bank.
In education, activities that take place outside of normal school hours are described as extra what?
Curriculum.
Correct. Biggins. In the animal kingdom, gharials and caimans are types of what? Camel or crocodile?
Camel.
Crocodile. Melandra. In pop music, Cliff Richard had a Christmas UK #1 single in 1988 with a song called Mistletoe and what?
And wine.
Correct. Russ. In clothing, the cloak, known as a poncho, originated in which continent?
Mexico.
South America. Bobby. On Christmas Eve, Santa Claus is traditionally said to descend into houses through which architectural feature?
Up your flute.
Time's up. The correct answer, Bobby, was chimney.
It's the same thing.
Don't argue with me, Bobby. And you only banked £1,000. Is Biggins earning his buttons? Does the princess need a pee? Is Bobby still making a good impression? One of you is about to leave with nothing. It's time to vote off the weakest link.
As the only player to get all his answers right, Wayne is the strongest link. Statistically, Biggins is the weakest link. But whose game is over?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Melandra.
Biggins.
Melandra.
Biggins.
Melandra.
So, Russ, what do you think about as you're looking down on the streets?
Breakfast.
Why Melandra?
Because, two reasons. Firstly, the mathematics of the cassette tape.
You mean she didn't know the difference between 90 minutes and 45?
Correct, but it was a tricky question. And I thought that Biggins's questions about buttons was a little unfair.
So, Biggins, have you never heard of buttons?
I have, Anne, but I've never, ever heard him called the page to the Baron.
So it's our fault?
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Why Melandra?
Well, I thought it was as bad as me, and I couldn't vote for myself.
Melandra, you are the weakest link. Bye.
I'm not boasting or anything, but I only got one question wrong. Boys, why did you vote me off? You rotters! If you were going to ask me to put some money on a particular person, I think that would have to be Dandini next to me, Russ, and he's going to knock the milk bucket off Wayne's head any time.
Round 6, and you have £7,300 out of a possible 25,000. How bright are you? There are 4 of you left, all men, hard to know who is the most dashing. Another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Wayne. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Wayne, which term for the audience seating area in front of a theatre stage is also the name for the covered stands in a market?
Stalls.
Correct. Biggins. What cue is the name of a drug obtained from tree bark that was commonly used to treat malaria?
Quinine.
Correct. Russ. What word is both a term for a person able to communicate with departed spirits and the singular form of the word media?
Medium.
Correct, Bobby. In travel, Amtrak is the name of the national government-owned intercity passenger train service in which country?
This country, Great Britain.
United States. Wayne. According to Greek mythology, the gaze of Medusa was so terrifying that it turned people into what? Quiche or stone?
Stone.
Correct. Biggins. In pantomime, what general name is given to the leading male role traditionally played by a woman in tights?
Principal boy.
Correct. Russ. What letter of the alphabet precedes the word list to indicate celebrities or party guests who are considered the most important?
A-list.
Correct, Bobby. In 1982, General Leopoldo Galtieri launched a military invasion of which islands?
The Falkland Islands.
Correct, Wayne. In literature, the skull of Yorick is unearthed in which Shakespeare play?
Hamlet.
Correct, Biggins. In the popular fairy tale, which amphibian turns into a handsome prince when kissed by a princess?
Frog.
Correct, Russ. In the UK, what's the common 2-word term for a property provided at low rent by local government?
Council house.
Correct, Bobby. In the 19th century, the Americans Barnum and Bailey were pioneers of which form of entertainment?
Circus.
Correct, Wayne. In food and drink, which word meaning well-built is also the general name for a dark, creamy beer made from roasted malts?
Guinness.
Stout.
Oh.
Biggins. In UK geography, which London park, famous for its outdoor theatre, also contains Queen Mary's Garden?
Regent's Park.
Correct, Russ. In pop music, the 2002 song called Black Suits Come In was a UK hit single for which American actor and singer?
Will Smith.
Correct, Bobby. In UK money, which coin is minted with a variety of designs on its reverse, such as those incorporating a leek, a thistle or an oak tree?
50 pence piece.
£1 coin. Wayne. Time's up and you banked £1,000. But who needs to get home before midnight? Who's as useful as a glass slipper? Whose helicopter needs to land? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
According to the statistics, Russ is the strongest link. With the most wrong answers, Bobby is the weakest link. But who will the team want off?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Bobby.
Wayne.
Wayne.
Bobby.
We have a tie team, Wayne and Bobby, 2 votes each. Wayne, why Bobby?
Well, he got his ones wrong this time, didn't he?
Bobby, why Wayne?
Because he got his questions wrong as well.
Well, when the vote's tied, as you know, the strongest link decides. That was Russ. Why Wayne?
I thought statistically he was the weakest link.
Who'd you want to go?
Sorry, Wayne.
Wayne, you're a pain. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye. Russ is the big baddie, and he needs a big hiss and boo because I think he voted me off strategically. Dame Trot would say, never mind, Waynie, you come with me and we'll go and milk a cow together.
Round 7, and you're up to £8,300. If you'd had any brains, you'd have 30,000 by now. 3 of you left. Another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Russ. Let's play the weakest link. Start clock. Russ, which word can mean to take part in a game, to act a dramatic part, or to perform on a musical instrument?
Participate.
No, play. Bobby, in transport, in the management of aircraft movements in flight, the letters ATC stand for what?
Air. Oh, traffic control.
Correct. Biggins, the American singer Emmylou Harris achieved fame singing which type of popular music?
Jazz.
No, country and western. Russ, in leisure, the famous amusement park known as the Pleasure Beach is in which seaside town in northwest England?
Blackpool.
Correct, Bobby. In dining out, what is the 3-letter word for the small amount of money given to waiting staff to show appreciation for good service?
Tip.
Correct, Biggins. In informal Australian English, chook is the diminutive name for which bird?
Chicken.
Correct, Russ. In the Indiana Jones films, directed by Steven Spielberg, which actor played the title role?
Harrison Ford.
Correct, Bobby. In fashion, which term meaning an armed encounter goes before trousers to make the name of a casual garment with large pockets?
Could I have the question again, please?
In fashion, which term meaning an armed encounter goes before trousers to make the name of a casual garment with large pockets?
Raid!
I knew you weren't going to get it. Combat. Begins. In medicine, an ECG measures the activity of which organ of the human body?
Heart.
Correct, Russ. In TV, the comedy partner linked with Bobby Ball is Tommy who?
Cannon.
Correct, Bobby.
Bank.
Which football team, who were beaten by England in the 2002 World Cup, traditionally play in shirts with light blue and white vertical stripes?
Argentina.
Correct, Biggins. Before metrication, in most English pubs, a single shot of spirits was usually 1/6 of which imperial measure?
Jill.
Correct, Russ. In modern literature, the author who wrote the teen novels Forever and Tiger Eyes is Judy who?
Pass.
Bloom. Bobby, the word escargot means snail in which European language?
French.
Correct, Biggins. In the United States, the part of the Constitution that gives the right to freedom of speech, religion and assembly is called the first what?
Amendment.
Correct, Russ. In the pantomime Mother Goose, the title character lays eggs off which precious metal?
Gold.
Correct.
Bank.
Time's up. Astonishingly, your bank was in time.
Yes!
Good.
And in that round, between the three of you, you've got just £750. Now listen carefully, because this is complicated. In round 8, you get the chance to treble what you bank. That means, Bobby, there's £15,000 to be won, provided you don't mess up. Are you going to get rid of the clever clogs and keep the two stupid ones? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
In a reversal of fortune, Bobby is the strongest link and Russ is the weakest link statistically. But who will be taking the final walk of shame?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Bobby.
Biggins.
Biggins.
Bobby.
Yes.
Why Biggins?
Because he...
Is a bigger star than you are?
Yes. It's just nice to see he's got over the anorexia. All right?
Russ.
Yes.
Why Biggins?
I thought he was the weakest link.
He is now. Goodbye.
Now, I think there was a little bit of tactical voting going on. I'm not going to say any more than that, because it is Christmas, and there's good cheer to all men. Well, nearly all men.
Round 8, £9,050 in the bank. 2 of you left and you have 90 seconds, and whatever you win in this round will be trebled. So £15,000 is up for grabs. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. Wonders never cease, that's Bobby. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Bobby, in student households, what 4-letter word is the name of a list of circulating chores which is rarely adhered to?
Jobs.
Rota. Ross, in literature, the most celebrated work of Geoffrey Chaucer charts the progress of a group of pilgrims on their way to which city?
Canterbury.
Correct, Bobby. In pop music, what's the surname of the actress and singer who released her debut album Claire in July 2002?
Oh, the one with a big bum. What's the name? No, it's gone.
Sweeney. Ross.
Blank.
A UK traffic sign showing a broken circle made up of 3 white arrows on a blue background means the driver is approaching a what?
Motorway.
Mini roundabout. Bobby, in maths, what is the arithmetic mean or average of the numbers 2, 4 and 6?
Could you say that again?
In maths, what is the arithmetic mean or average of the numbers 2, 4 and 6?
Evens.
4. Russ. In politics, which 3-letter word meaning revolutionary is also the name of a primary colour?
Red.
Correct, Bobby. In US history, the gangster Al Capone built up a criminal empire in which American city?
Chicago.
Correct, Russ.
Thank.
In literature, the term Man Friday means a loyal male servant, and it's derived from a character in which book by Daniel Defoe?
Robinson Crusoe.
Correct, Bobby. In theatre, what's the name of the Lord Mayor of London whose life is the subject of a popular pantomime?
Dick. Whittington.
Correct, Russ.
Thank.
In media, which broadcasting corporation famously used the slogan, "You make it what it is"? No one you've worked for, Russ. It's the BBC. And between you in that round, you won just £500, which will treble and add to the winnings from the previous rounds. That means prize money tonight of £10,550. One of the lowest we've ever had. Only one of you can take the money home, so now you'll play against each other head-to-head. I'll ask alternating questions, best of 5. Whoever answers the most correctly wins. It's as simple as that. So Ross and Bobby, for £10,550, let's play the weakest link. Ross is the strongest link in the last round. You have the choice of who goes first.
I'll go first.
Ross, in fashion, which hat manufacturing company that has a marsupial as its logo started life making berets in Cumbria in 1938?
Kangol.
That is the correct answer. Bobby, in modern languages, by what name is the Spanish language known in Spain?
Spanish.
No, the correct answer, Bobby, is Espanol. Ross, if the English names of the 4 constituent countries of the UK are arranged in alphabetical order, which comes last?
Wales.
That is the correct answer.
Clever.
Bobby.
Yes.
The name of which fish found in the sea around Britain also means the part of a shoe which one walks upon?
Sole.
That is the correct answer. Russ, in sport, which specific equestrian event involves the performing of the piaffe and the pirouette?
Show jumping.
No, the correct answer is dressage. Bobby, in geography, Christmas Island in the Indian Ocean is a dependency of which country?
China.
The correct answer is Australia. Ross, in UK currency, what's the minimum number of coins required to make up 54 pence?
3.
That is the correct answer. Bobby, you need to answer this question correctly, or else he's won. Have you got that? Yes. Bobby, which surname links a northern writer and actor called Alan and an American crooner called Tony?
Bennett.
That is the correct answer.
Yes, yes.
Nevertheless, despite his genius, if you answer this question correctly, Russ, you have won. So for £10,550.
Get it. Shut up.
In 1951, which French politician said, "How can you govern a country that has 265 kinds of cheese"?
Charles de Gaulle.
That is the correct answer.
Well done.
That means, Russ, you are tonight's strongest link, and you go away with £10,550. What are you going to do with the money?
It's going to go to the Variety Club of Great Britain.
Bobby,
Yes.
with any luck, you will just go away. Join us again for the weakest link. Goodbye.
When the gang back at Capital Radio in London see that I actually won the Weakest Link Christmas special, I think they'll faint.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to this Christmas because at home we've decided to have a vegetarian Christmas this year. We've decided to decorate the turkey and eat the tree.
Tarrant will never, ever let me live this down. I mean, this is his worst nightmare.